Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Becky, and as probably most of you that are visiting my channel today know, I am Fun Life on a Budget's bestie. I'm Irina's bestie, and she has been trying to get me to do YouTube videos, and I've had some requests for some, and so I ran a name by her, and she liked it, and here I am. So here is my first video. So bear with me. I'm new to this, and I probably chose to do something difficult for my first project, but I need to do a flipbook for a swap. And so I thought, might as well share with you how I do that. So to start my flipbook, I pick a theme, and since it's Christmas time, my theme is Christmas, of course. And I have this paper pad that I bought last year that I hardly used, and it's beautiful paper. It's got a lot of bling on it. It even has vellum, which is awesome. And you can tell I've used some, so there's not much left. But what I like about these paper packs is they help you in making your flipbooks because they've all done the paper matching for you. All the papers usually go together. They leave you with cards that you can use to decorate your pages, and also make journal or tags to fit in pockets. Sometimes, like this one, gives you a 6x6 inch section that you could even just use for the cover of your book or for a page if you wanted to. And I also like that sometimes they give you a corner piece. If it didn't say Merry Christmas, you could just like use the tree and cut out and make it on for a corner piece or for a pocket. And they also give you borders. And these are very helpful in decorating your pockets and the edges of your pages. So, let's get started. It's really, really, really easy. And once you make one, you'll be making a ton of them. So, the first thing you need to do is to figure out how many pages you want for your flipbook. And I decided that I want a front cover, a middle page, a back page, and then one page that flips out. So that's a total of 4 pages. And since this paper is not double-sided, I needed 8 sheets of paper. So I just pulled out 8 sheets of paper from the paper packet that I liked, and I cut them into 6x6 inch pieces. So you could make your flipbook any size that you wanted, but 6x6 seems to be the average. And even if you wanted to, you can get those 6x6 inch paper packages that they're already 6x6 and just tear pages out of that and make it that way, and that would be even easier. So I have my 8 pieces of paper all cut out 6x6 inches, and then I use I'm not sure what you call it, to put my pieces together. I don't like to use washi tape, just washi tape, because it doesn't stick very well, as you know. So I make a little hinge, I guess that's what we'll call it, to put the pieces together, and it gives a little extra space for all the goodies that you put in your flipbook. So to make my hinge, I just find a piece of cardstock, because cardstock is the same color on both sides, that matches my paper. And I happen to go with white because a lot of my papers have white in them, you can see. And you could use any color, and you could cover it with washi tape when you're finished if you wanted to, or just leave it. And I think I'm just going to leave it since it matches so well. So I cut a strip 1.25 inches, And I think it's just 8.5 inches long, however big my piece of paper was. And then I am going to score it on my fold. So I just take my handy dandy scoring tool here, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and at 3/4 inch. That gives me 1/4 inch space to put my goodies in, and for my pages to close easily. So I have it scored, so I'm going to go ahead and fold, and you can see that. And then my bone folder, this, I'm going to crease it there, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So as you can see, there's my little hinge. Now the next thing I need to do is, you'll need 3 of these. So I've already cut my 3 hinges and scored them. And then so my front page, I'll show you how I do my front page. So this is what I've chosen as my front page, and the pattern is just random, so it doesn't matter which way which side the hinge goes on. If there was a pattern that went a specific way, you'd have to make sure that you put your hinge on the right side so that your pattern is facing the way it should. And I'll kind of go over that a little bit more when I get to the flip part, because my paper there has to be a certain way. So what I do is I just take one of the pages, and I like to use the tape, because it's the tearaway tape, because it's strong, it's easy, and it just seems to make the whole process a whole lot easier. So I go ahead and I put tape all around the edge, and I'm just using a rewards card I got from somewhere to help tear the tape. It's faster than using scissors or just using my fingers, and it's just kind of fun. And if you use washi tape and planning, you understand the whole card business. So then I take my bone folder, and I'm just going to burnish the tape so that it gets a nice stick, because you see I didn't put it on very straight, so I've got some bubbles and so on. Okay, so there I have my tape on the back. I take my hinge that I made, and since this is my front cover, I want to make sure that I put it on this side of my hinge, and the inside cover is going to go on this side of my hinge. You can see that little sandwich there, because this part of the hinge is going to go to my next page. So what I do is I take off, hopefully, take off a piece of tape, and make sure I do it right. Yep, okay. And then I'm going to line it up. Just close to the edge of that fold, but not quite. Okay? Give it a good rub there. Now, I need to put this cover on. To do that, I'm just going to put the tearaway tape. Oh, is that what it's called? Easy tear tape. along one edge. And remember, it doesn't matter because there is no pattern to my paper that it needs to go a certain way. And I'm going to go ahead and tear this off. Now, I just put the tape on one side because I already have tape on the 3 other sides of the sheet. So, to line it up super easy, make sure I get it nice and straight, is I can line it up to this edge. And since it's not, I haven't taken the paper off, I can move it around. The only place it's sticky is right here. So I just hold that up, line up my edges, and, oop, slid on me. Line up my edges, hold it down, and push. And my hinge closes. Just burnish it a little bit. See? Now all I need to do is remove the tape on the side and push it down. So, really easy if the paper comes off from the tape. And then all I do is just push it down. And ta-da! There you have the first page of your book with a hinge. So, then I go over to my trimmer, and I'm going to trim off those edges. Just because I have a hard time cutting straight, this just works the best. And it doesn't have to be super perfect, it doesn't have to be super close, because you can always trim it with scissors once you are finished. So, there you go. There's our cover. So, we do this to our front cover, and then here's my back cover. Went ahead and worked ahead. So here's my back cover, and if you notice, this has a pattern on it, and so does this side. So I wanted to make sure that my patterns were matching and going the same way for my book. So you have to think about that when you attach it to your hinge. And then here is the part that I am going to have flip up. Hope you can see all that. And again, these are patterned, so I had to make sure that they were right. And I knew that, here's my pages I chose for my second page. So let's see if this helps. Okay, so here's my first page, my second page, and my last page. And then this is where I'm going to have my flip. So I knew that I wanted to have it flip down like this, just because the way I wanted the colors, I didn't want all red straight across. So I chose this paper, and then when you flip it up, if you see that, there's another pattern. So I had to really think about where I was going to put my hinge on my papers to get them so that when they open and close, they're the right way. So think about that. So that's probably the hardest part. So now I have my first page, my last page, and my page I'm going to have flip up. And then I have my middle page, which is also my back cover of my book. I don't know if you can see that, because if I close my book up, which this will be my cover right here. I mean my back cover. So what I do is I put my back cover to the side, and I have the second page. And on the second page, I have already put tape on it. And now, since it doesn't have a pattern that has to go a specific way, I can just attach it to my hinges. So it doesn't really matter if you attach it to what page first, you just start attaching. So I'm going to go ahead and go where I have the tape on, peel that off. I'm just going to refold that hinge so that I can see it better. I'm going to line it up at the top. And go ahead and put it down. Now you can see that there's a little gap here at the bottom. I can just trim that off with scissors. Cover it with washi. Not really a huge problem. So then I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my back page. So again, maybe take the back of the paper off here. Well, goodness. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to attach it to this hinge. So again, fold that. And since my paper covers just a little bit here on this one, I'm just going to fold it back so I can get full coverage. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up the top. And go really close to that folded edge. And push it down. So there I have my front page, my last page, my middle page. And I got my little hinge there in between, which gives me extra space for all my goodies. And then here is my page that I'm going to have flip up. Now, I could have put this over here if I wanted it, put it here, if I wanted a page to flip down, you know, wherever you want to have a page that flips up, or you don't have to have a page that flips up. Totally up to you. So I know that it's going to go up here on the top because I want to make sure my trees are facing up, my reindeer, and when I close the flap, my snowmen are all going the same way in trees, and open, my ornaments are all going the way I want them to. So I know that this top edge is where I'm going to want to line up my so easiest thing to do is to line it up against that edge and that edge, and there we go. There's our top hinge. So the last piece is the back cover. And I saved the back cover for last because you've got to get all these other hinges on first. If you attach it to one of these hinges, then it doesn't work. So this is your final piece to put on. And before you put this piece on, you can also think about how you want to close your flipbook. Because what you can do is, if you use ribbon, you could put the, show you my ribbon here, you could put the ribbon underneath this piece, like so, and then you could decorate the back cover if you wanted, or ribbon on top, or whatever you want to use to close. But think about that. If you don't want your closure to be seen, that you can hide it underneath. Of course, that makes it a little extra sturdier too. But I am not going to do that this time. So all I have to do is put tape on these three back sides of these hinges, or I could put them on three sides of my paper. Let's do that. Because that's easier. And since there's no set pattern, it doesn't matter which 3 sides I put them on. Just like so. I usually don't talk while I craft, so this is so different. I usually have my radio going, and or my son's upstairs with his music going, playing video games. Okay, so I have 3 sides with tape on them. And I have a piece of tape here in the center, and then I've already got a piece of tape at the bottom. But if you'll notice, there's a little bit of where it's not glued, just because of where the way that the tape was and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce that, because I don't want that to be a weak spot in my book. So I'm just going to put some glue in there and push it down. And I'm just using Tombow glue. Oh, my glue's a mess until I use it. Push it down. And then I'll turn it nice and sturdy. Okay, so now I can be daring and just boop, put it all down, and I think that is what I will do. So take the paper off of your tape, like so, and off the bottom piece here. Alright. And just line it up, center it, and go for it. Okay. So there's my basic book. Very, very simple. Just like that. And then comes the fun part. The decorating. Making your pockets and all of that good stuff. So, let me show you what it looks like finished. Alright, so here I have one finished. Tie it. Okay, so here it is finished, as you can see. And all I did was take one of the cards in the packet, I think it was 4x6, cut it out, attached it to the front, and I thought it was bright and cheery enough, so I just added some extra bling to it. Who doesn't like bling? Right, Irina? And I just framed that, and I added some washi tape. I just picked out some washi tapes that I thought went well with the paper and used those to decorate. And a lot of times I put the washi tape on first, and then I decorate my pages. And as you can see, I didn't put any washi tape over the edge, which you most definitely could. And then I, for my closure, just put my ribbon over the back, put a piece of cardstock from the paperback over top of it to really secure it, and just put washi tape on it to decorate it. For me, the washi tape is just decoration. It doesn't have any function. If you need to, you can always add a little bit of glue to keep the washi tape down. And always, always put a little tag or something that you made it, so people know. So I have just a made for you tag with my name and when I made it. It's not December yet, but since it's for Christmas, I wanted to make sure that she had for Christmas 2007 on there. So go to the front, and I decided to do ribbon for my closure. And when I use ribbon, I like to use fray check on the edges of my ribbon because you know how ribbon can fray, and this keeps it from not fraying. And I have used this, gosh, forever. Since I was a little girl in 4-H, I have used fray check. So I put fray check on the ends of the ribbon so that they don't fray. And then when you open the book, I don't have anything, all my goodies in it yet, so I'll just show you kind of what I've got going on here. This is just a pocket, and all I did was I cut a this piece of paper 6 by 6, and then I cut it from corner to corner, and I've just put tape along this edge to secure it. I decorated the border with some piece of border from the paper pack, and I put washi tape around it. Simple. I can put some tags in there, bling, whatever I like. This is the, well, let's open it up. Let's do that. Okay, so this is the second page, which is the flip up page, and there I had a cute little snowman, so I put him on there. And I backed the back of that since it didn't have any paper on it. And it flips up. And this time I used the washi tape as the function because this isn't very heavy. It should hold it. But inside I used a hinge, and I'll show you that. So anyway, so my little snowman, and I cut out some, or punched out some snowflakes, and added some bling to the snowman, and then I made an envelope and attached the envelope here, again using the tearaway tape. You want a sturdy tape to hold that because they're going to be digging in there, getting out their goodies. You can put die cuts in here, bling in here, your little message, Merry Christmas message in there, whatever you like. So then this flips up. Make sure I get in. There we go. So it flips up, and what I did was I attached 2 of the cards from the paper pack together, and this time I made a hinge. Just a real simple hinge. I cut an inch piece of paper, and I just scored it down the middle and sandwiched it in between these 2 pieces before I glued them together, kind of just like how you do a page. And that just gave me an extra spot to you know, hold the flip part down, and just put some washi tape over it to decorate it, because there's actually tape underneath there that is holding this part on. And then I just put some washi tape on this side too, just to decorate it up a little bit. Up here, what I did was I just cut a piece of cardstock in the size I wanted, and I covered it in clear contact paper. It's super easy than laminating a piece of cardstock. This is where I will put my washi tape on samples for her to have for Christmas, and because I laminated both sides with contact paper, the washi won't stick, and it is just washi taped on there. I just added a little bit extra of the contact paper and folded it over so there's something for it to stick, so she could take this part off and put it with her other washi tape samples if she wanted. And then just another little envelope here. And then for the middle page, I made a pocket, as you can see here. And this was a cutout from that paper pack also, and also the tag. So I just glued 3 sides and left it open and made a little pull tag there. And then I can put things in this pocket also. Not sure what I'm going to put in there yet. And then for the last page, I just made a pocket here. Very simple. And I'll probably put, let's see, put some tags in there or something. And then we can close it all up. Oh, before I forget, the bottom of my flip page, I don't know if you can see that there, I put a little cutout, I guess so they know that it flips up. Sometimes I even cut this page a little bit shorter. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing. But all I do is I take a little 1/2 inch circle punch and find the center and punch. Little 1/2 circle so you get a little cutout for your finger. Alright, so let's close it back up. And the last final page, I usually make planner clips because most of the people that I swap with are also planner people. And so I made a little spot to put some planner clips, and I don't have any handy that I could show you how it works. But what I did was I cut a strip, I think this is just 1 inch, and I scored it 1/2 inch from each end and then 1/8. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Just a little bit tiny of a score, so it gives it some room to put those planner clips on. Because I'll probably put 3 on there. And then I have another envelope, again, to fill with something or put her little note in for the swap. So, and then you've seen the back cover already. So that's it. It's just super easy, super fun. You can decorate however you like. You can put as many flips as you want in it, as many pockets as you want in it. Just, it's completely up to you. Completely up to you. And they are so fun to do, so easy as I showed you. And I hope you give it a try. So let me know what you thought of my first video, because hopefully it went well. And if you want to see something else of what I've made in the Flipbook that maybe you didn't understand, I'd be more than happy to explain it in a little bit more detail in another video. Other than that, have a great day. Hi, Irina. Hi, Mom. Bye, everybody. Take care.